Guys, is it OCDC? Was it OCD? Uh, what is it? OCD. What is that? OCD? Whenever I go live, one of the things I make sure that I do is I make sure my cable, this cable here, is straight. What do you call that? Obsessive compulsive disorder, does that fall under that category or no? Because if it's not straight, if my cable is not straight, it drives me nuts. Tell me in the comments if I have obsessive compulsive disorder. Hey, everybody, I'm not going to be here long. I got 15 minutes with you, max. How are you, first of all? By the way, guys, I met Mutale Mwanza today. Her and I were doing a thing at the Cake Zambia, the Cake Market Zambia event. She was there. We talked. I haven't seen Mutale for a long time. It was very nice to see her. You know, of course, we exchanged pleasantries, and she was, she was being Mutale, and I was being me. All right. Hope you guys. It was great to see her. Honestly, it was. Guys, tell me in the comments below if you can hear me, because I got a couple of things I want to share with you. I won't be long. We're good, Mudala. Somebody says. This is Kelvin. Kelvin says we're good, Mudala. This is Kelvin Taylor. Kelvin, how did you get a name like that? Guys, did you watch the interview with President Hakainde Hichilema? Did you guys see that? He was on. He was a guest on one of the Hot FM shows. Hot FM is a very famous radio station here in Zambia. Well, State House invited Hot FM over to the president's crib, to the president's abode, okay, to the president's homestead, even though officially he doesn't live at State House. The president extended a hand of invitation to Hot FM. And this was a commitment that he had made some time ago. He did say this in one of the press conferences that he had held. This was several months ago. And he made this commitment. He said, look, I'd like to sit down with Hot FM and talk to you guys. And so the president, in effect, fulfilled that promise that he made. The only thing, though, is I must point out, and I know that this is going to rub some of you the wrong way, but this is the way that it is, okay? And it's this. I want to throw this up here because I think it's important that we know exactly where we are. It is clearly, we have a president in office that knows what he's talking about in terms of getting our economy back on its feet. I mean, you have a man that can sit and articulate his vision. In the past, in the recent past in particular, we didn't have that. Former president rarely spoke to us. The former president, President Lungu, rarely spoke to the people. And when he did, it was a very guarded, almost a clandestine arrangement. He spoke as little as possible. Here it is. We have a president now who can engage at length. Now, here's the only problem I had. I loved the interview. I did. I enjoyed it. I did. The only thing, though, is it was too long. You can't. Hot FM dropped the ball by not leading the president, because you guys as journalists, journalists, you're supposed to guide the narrative. You're supposed to guide the president on how the interview is going to go. The president has a lot to say. He's got the information at his fingertips. He literally has this stuff. He can recite this stuff in his dreams. He's got lots to say. And if you give him a chance to say it, he will say it until the sun comes down. Let me say that again. The president has a lot to say, and he will say it until the sun comes down. But you, Hot FM, here it is, you guys led the president into a 2.5 hour interview. Brothers and sisters, that was too long. You can't sit down with the head of state and talk to him for 2.5 hours, 1 hour maximum. And I blame you, Hot FM, for not sitting down with State House and saying, this is how it's going to go. Okay. You can't condense, and this is the word, you cannot condense all the problems in Zambia in 2.5 hours. Because this is the thing. This is the sense that I got. That it was almost as though you guys at Hot FM were saying, this is the only chance we're going to get with him. So let's ask him everything that we have on our minds. Let's ask him everything that our viewers have on their minds. Let's throw at him every question conceivable. Well, of course, if you're going to take that approach, you're going to sit down with the head of state for 2.5 hours. But here's the thing. You can't talk to the head of state for 2.5 hours. That's too long. That is way too long. I don't care who it is. You can't sit in an interview for 2.5 hours, 1 hour maximum. And you guys at Hot FM and State House, you dropped the ball by not sitting down and knowing exactly how the interview was going to go. You had to work within a time frame. And clearly you didn't do it as Hot FM. You were the guys that were interviewing the president. The president was not interviewing Hot FM, okay? So in that regard, I really did feel that the interview went a little longer than what it was supposed to. And again, the reason I think it was that way is because I think Hot FM had this in their minds that, okay, we've got the president. And now that you got to get the, what's the saying? You better get it while the getting's good. That's the saying. Get it while the getting's good, meaning this is the only opportunity we're going to get. So let's ask him everything. Let's throw him everything. Let's throw him the kitchen sink. Let's throw him the brick wall. Let's throw him everything that we can think of, because by God, this is the only opportunity we have to speak to him. Wrong. That was too long. Somebody else tell me in the comments below if you agree with me. Tell me. This is Chola says, I agree with you. Chola Chiluba, thank you for saying that. He actually needed more time. He said and it's true. I know, I could tell the president loved it because here's the thing. The president loves to talk because he knows what he's talking about. Okay, he loves to talk because he knows what he's talking about. But here's the thing. I didn't think he needed more time than 2.5 hours, 1 hour maximum. And anytime you have an interviewer that is sitting too long and not speaking, that's not good. You have to consistently engage. And of course, I'm not an expert. I'm speaking to you as an observer. I know a good interviewer when I see one, but I think that they sort of let him loose, and I think because he's got so much to say, the interview it went overboard, I thought. Now, there is one thing I did notice there. There was a faux pas by the president. A faux pas is a mistake. Let me tell you what it is. And it's this here. The president misspoke. The president misspoke when he said the dollar was at 22 when he took over office in August of 2021. Did you catch that? Did you hear that? Did you guys catch that part when the Hot FM, the guy said to the president, well, Mr. President, when you took over office in August of 2021, the dollar was at $15, 15 kwacha. And the president said, no, it was about 22 going to 25. Well, the president misspoke. He made a mistake. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it happens. Let's not forget the president's human. Okay? He's not a superhuman being. He's a regular human being like you and me. The only difference is he holds the office of president. Now, I know this is something that the PF would love to sink their teeth into. I know when the PF heard this, they said, no, you for the mu government, you for dollar ya di pari 15. You mwa UPND mwasangire dollar at 15 kwacha. You mwana mbele mwexta grappo na dollar. If it was at 15. Now, when I hear the PF boast like that, this is what comes to mind. And these are the questions I have to ask you. So, and I want you to get this. I really do. I want you to get this. And this was a fact. Okay, the US, here it is. The US dollar was at 15 kwacha in August of 2021. So what? So what? I mean, I really want to know from you that back in August of 2021, when the PF were leaving office, the US dollar was at 15 kwacha per US dollar. So what? Here's my question. Does it negate the fact that the PF was a corrupt regime? Huh? That's my question. Because the PF are going to stand on here and say, oh, the dollar was at 15. So what? Does it negate the fact that the PF was a corrupt regime? Incidentally, the word negate, in case some of you do not know, negate means to reverse. Does it reverse the fact? Even if the dollar and the kwacha, even if the dollar was at 15 kwacha, does it negate, does it reverse the fact that the PF was a corrupt regime? The answer is no. It doesn't. Here's another question. Does it negate the fact, oh, hey, I need to put my Are you guys following me? Does that negate the fact that PF was a criminal organization? Even if the dollar was at 15 kwacha back in 2021, does it negate, does it reverse the fact that the PF was a criminal organization? The answer is an absolute no. So what? Even if the president misspoke, the president got that fact wrong. So what? What's going to happen? Is the price of tea in China going to go down? Is the weather pattern in the Himalayas going to change simply because the president misspoke? No. It just means he made a mistake. That's all. I know you PF guys are hating this, but it's the truth. I mean, I'm telling you now. So here it is. And one of the things that I liked that the president said, and this is something the PF consistently talk about. The PF always talk about, well, no, we did the roads, we did the bridges. Well, whose money did you spend? That's the question. Did the money that you spent on those roads, did it belong to the PF? Did it belong to President Lungu, dare I ask? No, it belonged to the people of Zambia. And let me quote, and I love to quote this because I think African presidents need to understand this. And it doesn't matter who they are. They need to get this in their spirit. Development has no destination. And I got this quote from former President Lungu during one of the PF conventions. He said this. He said, Development has no destination. Every administration, every president does their bit for the sake and the betterment of the people. Well, at least that's what it's supposed to be. It's not that way in every case. But development has no destination. So far be it from you guys, you PF guys. No, roads. Hey, conference. It wasn't your money. It was my money. It was your money. It was the money that belonged to the Zambian people. Money that belonged to Mr. and Mrs. John Q. Taxpayer, AKA you and I, honey. So get it out of your mind when you hear the PF talk about how, with your money? No, taxpayers' money. All right, the last thing I want to talk to you about, and I'll close with this. Bowman, bless him. Bowman is going through stuff, man. Bowman has just written a letter to Amnesty International. He's also written a letter to the Human Rights Commission. And he's bemoaning the fact that he feels persecuted. Okay, now let's be clear. Bowman is not being persecuted. He's being prosecuted. There is a difference. Did you know that? There is a cardinal difference between one that is being persecuted and one that is being prosecuted. Nobody's persecuting Bowman. And this is what amazes me about Bowman. Is this the same Bowman that said, Hagainde batarimwana, tawakaimone? President, Bowman almost, he gave this vibe that the presidency was the preserve of his gang and his gang alone. And that Hakainde Hichilema, who was a candidate back then, was not worthy to vie for the office of president. Bowman and the PF used to walk around with an air, a boastful air of arrogance that gave them the appearance of an organization that was invincible. But they forgot one little thing about democracy and what it can do, and that is the people choose. So to hear Bowman complain about, I think Chachiramo, well, it's a stark difference from the Bowman that we knew when they were in office. You know, if you're going to steal for the future, you got to steal whatever he said, which I still can't believe he said that. I mean, I want to, and here's the thing, let me say this in his defense. If Bowman really did misspeak when he said, there's that famous clip of Bowman that goes, if you're going to steal, you need to steal for the future. I want to believe that he misspoke, okay? But listen to this. If he indeed did misspeak, if he indeed misspoke, if he indeed misspoke, he should have addressed it. He should have said, hey, guys, I was on the radio the other day, and there's a clip of me going around saying thus and so, etc. I didn't mean that, I meant this. But he left it alone. So he left it to our own devices as viewers and as listeners. To this day, everyone that hears that clip hears Bowman saying, when you're going to steal, steal for the future. I've always said, I've never believed that he meant to say that, because Nanguariba arrogant, Nanguariba boastful, Nanguariba naive as a politician. There's no way you can sit in front of a microphone and to millions of Zambians across the nation. You can't sit there in your right mind and say things like, if you're going to steal, steal for the future. But he never addressed it. And because he never addressed it, I'm going to assume that's what he meant. So that Bowman is different from this Bowman now that is bemoaning the fact that he feels in his mind he's being persecuted? No, Bowman, you're not being persecuted. You're being prosecuted. There's a difference. Hey guys, thank you for watching. The volume is too loud. Is it really? It's right in front of my mouth. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I apologize. Julie says the volume is too loud. I'm sorry about that. Do that. Okay. Hey guys, thanks for watching. God bless. Bye.